Meiji Sampler dev update. Today is Friday, February 27. It's been about a month since we did another check-in. So excited to share some stuff that I've been working on for you guys. All right, let's dive right in. So number one, we've totally rewritten the whole audio recording in flow. And let me just walk you through it right now. So to access the new audio recording system, you can open the channel details and hit R for audio record in. And you will see the VU meter for my input here. And you can choose your audio device by hitting enter. So I will choose my Claret 8 Pre, and then I'll scroll down, I'll choose my Stereo 3.4, which is connected to my mixer over here. So over here, I've got my turntable, that'll be my audio source today. And what I can do is I can hit up and down to set the threshold for the record in, and then you're gonna see the input from this turntable. So for example, obviously that's a signal coming in, so I'll just wheel it back, and I will just set my threshold to here. There's a couple ways that you can either arm the recording with the trigger, which I've got here, or you can do manual mode. So you can hit T to toggle between threshold. Yeah, we're on threshold now. And you can see it's dim until it exceeds the signal threshold, and then it lights up. So that's a good way to preview your threshold to get it right. You can also do count in and sync loop, but I'll leave those for now. You can explore those later. And there's also like manual triggering. But yeah, let's just try the threshold one. So I'm gonna run it here. I will arm it with space, and then we will start. Oh, it looks like it's already caught it. Anyway, I can hit escape to restart. And let me maybe make the threshold a little higher because that's probably too low. Okay, let's try that. Ready? Arm, play on the turntable. And here we go. Cool. And I'll hit space to save it. And now we can proceed to replay it. I can audition it if it sounds good. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll just hit enter to keep it. And let's start chopping it up. All right. So the first thing I'll do is let me roughly find where it starts. Probably around here. I will just set my trim marker using S. This is the typical trim chop flow as before. The part that I want to chop is... So let me just run it again. That's it. All right. That's good. Cool. Hit enter. And now I've got chopped here. So yeah, you want to have some fun with it? We can just, I'll just pitch it down a little bit. Let's go nice and low. And I don't know, let's let these drums play, and I can just... I could go on forever, but yeah, it's a pretty good flow. I like how that works. Next time I'll demo how the loop recording works, but yeah, I think it's pretty sick. So that was definitely a big update. So moving on, the second thing that we did was we went and overhauled the whole factory pack browser system. So before there was kind of two ways to do it. You could go to settings, you could load some there. You could go to the channel details, you could open the packs as a source. But there was benefits to either way, and it didn't really make any sense ultimately. So what I ended up doing was I consolidated them down to one. Let me just delete those dope chops, okay? And now if you go to settings and you go to factory packs, or you go here and you hit P, you get taken to the packs browser. So in here, we've got a combination of new packs I'm excited to talk about. And we got 3 collaborations from the community as well as the original 3. But regardless, I can take one of these, I can uninstall it. I can uninstall, like, let's say I want to free up some space. And then from here, I can either hit enter to install this one, or I can hit space to highlight them, and then hit enter to bulk download the remaining 2. And once we've got the packs installed, then you can obviously navigate into them, and then you can start checking them out. So let's say I wanted to go into this one here, Rick Beats Tales. This one is super dope. Shout out Rick Beats. You can browse these incredible soul samples. Like, these are fire. yeah, you can now, go back. I can browse some other packs. I could check out my man Martine's pack here. They're all sort of different. This one's really great for sort of ethereal guitars, whether you're making trap or anything really. I mean, super versatile pack. We've got Lo-Fi Sounds contributed an amazing drum kit. I mean, these are ready to go. They're perfect. Like, excellent kicks. What else we got here? Yeah, just like nice claps. I mean, so usable, right? So excited for you guys to check those out. But yeah, definitely let me know if you guys have any like friends who make sample packs and whatnot. I'm reaching out to the community and getting folks to submit. So yeah, definitely check these out and let me know what you think. All right, so another biggie is I added a super cool visualizer. So check this out. Let's say we've got a track like this here. I'll just, actually, you know what? Let me just cue up. I think this one's got some chops in it. Yeah, all right. So let's say I've got this particular track using the Retreats packs and some other drums. So I can go down here. Let's say I've got, a song with this. Which one is this here? Oh, that's a different track. Yeah, this one here. All right. So what I can do is I can go over to the song and I can hit B for bounce. And in the last video, we talked about the separate tracks one, but now we've got a new one, MP4 Visualizer. So what I can do is I can just enable that. And then in addition to the WAV files and MP3s, it will also export a video visualizer in a square aspect ratio. So let's check that out. Okay, so that was just a super short, one iteration loop. And let me show you what it bounced out. All right, so in my bounce folder, I've got the audio that I just bounced out as usual. And then now I've also got a MP4 file. So apologies, the way the audio is routed, you're not going to hear this, but you can see the visualizer here. So super sick. I'm really proud of how this came together. I probably spent too much time on it, but look, these things matter. And they look really good. These are, super shareable for you. The idea is that you could post these on your feeds, Instagram stories, Instagram reels. They look really good. It's 1:1 aspect ratio, so it's a square. Looks great as a square post story. If it's a 16:9 vertical video reel, you can put that there. You can put your name logo above and below it. It's a black background. It's super versatile. So I hope you enjoy that. I think it looks pretty sick, and I'm excited to announce some more visualizers later. This is just the first one. Pretty sure I can take the whole visualizer engine here and continue building cool ones on top. All right, number four, yeah, 4 fingers. Better hotkeys and in general, better on-screen help. So previously, I had most of the hotkeys listed, on the various pages in the app. Obviously there was the chop, mute, solo, enter over here. But in general, there was things like down here, we had the green bar and that was okay, but it was a little bit obscure and it didn't really show you the all of the right hotkeys. But I wanted to make it like so painfully obvious that you knew what to do, that the hotkeys are all now listed on every screen. You can see them. They're highlighted in, nice bright gold. Why not? We love gold. So you can see, for example, on the different pages, like if I go to, like the pack browser, up and down, navigate, enter, select pack, uninstall, escape to close. The goal is to have every single screen be dead simple, very obvious in terms of what it does. So you can see here, it's like left and right to change pads, triggers, space to play, all of that. So yeah, and it's context sensitive. So if, I'm on like the pad view, you'll see that. If I'm on the loop view or the scene view, you'll see the, the contextual sounds. And when I hit enter to go into them, you'll see, for example, like you might not have known that Q can quantize the loop. So I can hit Q to do that. I can hit delete to clear all. And as I go up here, you can see delete or shift delete, all sorts of things. So, I mean, there are a lot of controls in the app and they weren't all totally obvious. And the goal is now to have, 100% visibility over all those options there for you. All right, number 5. It's not a huge deal, but honestly, some of the metering was a bit funky in the app. So, some places were using peak metering, some places were using RMS. Obviously, RMS is useful, but I find, generally speaking, when I'm in the creative process, I think just having the peaks show and I'm, thinking about transients and whatnot. So, RMS loudness is nice, but I think peaks are a little better. Throughout the different parts of the app now, you're going to see peak metering. Like if I'm playing up here, this is peak metering now. It's not RMS. It was looking a little bit sort of sausage-like, and seeing the peaks is better here. A little quality of life improvement, but now you can rest assured that we were using peak metering everywhere. All right, and last but not least, maybe the most requested feature, Linux support. So I've been hard at work on trying to get this working reliably in Linux. I have to admit, because I'm a Mac user primarily when it comes to music, I'm just trying to nail the basics with Mac and then get Linux working and then ultimately get Windows working. So that's sort of been my order of operations. And despite that, everyone's asking for Linux. Like whoever I post, if I upload a video, there's always a comment, is Linux supported? When Linux? And so also had some like really great conversations in the DMs with certain folks who, are looking at running this on some really interesting handheld embedded devices and things, Raspberry Pis. So the goal is to get it working on Linux x64 and on ARM architectures, ARM64. And I had it working on the Intel architecture. There was an issue with the ARM until recently. And then I also, fell behind. I didn't have the continuous deployment working correctly with the Linux builds because, again, I'm, favoring Mac right now and trying to move quickly. But Linux should work now. So if you use the curl installer, then, it will install a working Linux version. I've tested it out and it seems pretty good. But if you do see anything, then definitely let me know. And that's a good segue into item number 7. I think we're on number 7 now. We now have a home on Reddit. That's right. So if you go to reddit.r/Meiji Sampler, you will see the humble beginnings of what I hope to be a nice, thriving online community. Reddit's a pretty good home for, sample-based music communities and things. I've always admired Koala Sampler's Reddit. And the cool thing about it is, with Reddit, it's a good community. It's got obviously moderation built in, but the way that folks can just share video and songs, they can ask questions, they can act like a support knowledge base, just feels like the most organic and fun way for us to help each other. I can answer questions, folks can chime in, they can show love, but most importantly, they can post their music, they can post videos, they can be nicely embedded. So I think that's probably the best bet. Plus, in terms of creators and beat makers, uploading our visualizers there, they may get cross-posted to other subreddits and, viral loops as people are discovering our beats on other sample-based communities. It'd be really awesome just to see this thing blossom there. So I'm really hoping that Reddit's the right choice. I thought about making a Discord, but again, it's a little bit of a walled garden, whereas, Reddit's open, folks can easily share. So I think that's the best balance. An easy way for us to manage a community, share our works, our creations, show love, and try and just spread good vibes. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. So thank you so much. If you're still tuned into the bitter end here, appreciate you. It means a lot. Show some love in the Reddit. Post something that you've created, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace.